This is China Today 2021, the second meeting, and what we are talking about. We'll talk about driverless robots and vehicles and so forth. So this is the first one.
一个就是我们看中它的那个品牌吧，它品牌就是说东西比较干净嘛，然后比较方便的话，味道也还可以的话，我觉得我会考虑吧。外卖的话呢，也是一种方式，就是品种会多一点嘛，各有它的特点吧。
这个车的话，目前我们是通过这个手机 APP 扫码，然后微信和这个支付宝扫我们这个车上的这个二维码，大家就可以进入到一个小程序的这个界面，然后呢可以选购自己喜欢的商品，然后付款之后呢，这个柜门会自动打开。
支付成功，请拉开右侧车门死货，并关紧柜门。
然后我们会取餐，然后完了之后呢，就把这个柜门关上，然后整个购买的这个流程就结束。
柜门已打开，请取出货物并关好柜门。
Okay, this is the driverless delivery robots, which being used first coming into my attention in Wuhan last year during the pandemic, and that was the first time I noticed that there are such vehicles existing in China. Obviously, they are operating for them for quite some time already. Just that I don't know that. The other one is driverless bus.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Xinhua Live. I am Zuo Xin, bringing you this report from Zhengzhou, Henan Province. Nowadays, intelligent vehicles are a part of everyday life instead of science fictions. Self-driving cars produced by Google, Tesla, Baidu, and so on have grown quite familiar to the public. And not long ago, with Henan Province enlisted among the national big data experimental zones, testing the latest 5G technologies. Yutong Bus, one of the leading bus manufacturers of China, have applied the 5G network to intelligent cars, creating a 5G intelligent bus that is now under open road test in Zhengzhou. As you can see, this lady behind me is just a bus I'm talking about. So without the driver's seat, pedals, or even a steering wheel, how does Yutong intelligent bus operate on an open road? How is it different from other intelligent vehicles? To answer these questions, we'll take a ride on one of these intelligent buses. And we have invited the Senior Solution Manager of Yutong Intelligent Transport Department, Mr. James Lee, to give us more professional introductions. Welcome, Mr. Lee. Yeah, hello.
Hello, I'm James Lee from Yutong Bus Intelligent Department, Transport Department. Today, I'm very glad to sharing with you Yutong's 5G intelligent bus.
Okay. So, what is the name of this bus again?
Xiaoyu, we call it Xiaoyu, is 5 meters long.
Okay, so Xiaoyu. So, as we can see here, Xiaoyu seems quite different from other buses. It is only about 1/3 of a normal bus size, and the outline is quite clear and simple.
Yes, it has no rear wheel. As you can see, we use the sensors, intelligent sensors to replace the normal things. You can see there is a 3 laser radar on these buses. This is the one is the laser radar. And this is another laser radar and the millimeter wave radar. On the buses, we have a 2 millimeter wave radar on the buses. And we also have 6 6 cameras, exteriors, 6 cameras on the buses. One, yes, one, it is another one. This camera is on left side.
So it can has a 360-degree
Yes,
view.
it can all the information around the buses and gather it and to analyze it. This one is the back, the rear laser radar. Yes, all the sensors can help the buses to get information around.
Yes, indeed. It has many eyes and ears.
Are you interested in getting on the bus?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. With
Okay, please.
Well, it looks larger than expected. And Mr. Lee, I noticed that there's no emergency steering wheel or pedals. So does this bus completely require no drivers on the road?
Yes, it's level 4 autonomous vehicles. Level 4 means there's no necessary to have the driver, the pedal, or the steering wheel, because all the perspective and the decision making and the vehicle control all will be done by the bus itself.
Okay, that's very advanced.
Please have a seat.
Yeah, thank you. And of course, the seat belts.
What's the thing?
Sorry for my dumb hand. And as far as I can feel, I mean, the space of the bus is much larger than I expected, thanks to the absence of the driver. And the seat also feels quite comfortable. I mean, all covered with leather.
Yes, the passenger needs it. Okay, a little hot. Do you need any cooler? Do you need an air conditioner?
Yeah, cooler. Yeah.
I can open it. I control it without touching any buttons. I will show it.
Yes. So how do you do it?
你好，小雨。你好，小雨。
Hello，
打开空调。
将为您打开空调，
空调23度。
将为您调到23度。
Okay, so I heard you just speak Chinese. What did you say?
Open, turn on the air conditioner and set the degrees to 23 degrees.
Okay, so shall we understand Chinese for now? Can understand English?
When it goes overseas, we'll use the local languages. 你好，小雨。小雨，灯光。小雨，开灯。Use our voice to open the light.
Okay,
Can you feel it?
that's very convenient indeed. And
Okay, let's get started. Get started.
yeah, sure, I'm ready. Let's hit the road.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, now since we have hit the road, I noticed that there is a large screen in the front of the bus, and there are some figures and visual size. So what are those?
This is our AR screen. It is used for the human to understand how this autonomous vehicles works. But as you can see, there is the green arrow. It means that it's the planning path for the vehicles, and it can also shows the temperature inside the bus and the speed. The normal speed is the current speed is 14 kilometers per hour, and it also have the battery left, and it shows the station and the line for the passenger to understand where he or she should get on.
There's a traffic light.
And I just noticed when the bikes pass by us, there are some yellow and white wave-like patterns. What are these patterns?
Well, before we get on the bus, you see, I take you to see the laser radar or all the sensors around the bus. It detects the things and it put it on the streaming video. So this is how the artificial intelligence works. It gets the information and it detects it and it will analyze whether it's dangerous to the bus. So we put the information on the AR screen to help the passenger to understand it.
Okay, that's cool. And we can see in the screen that there is an exclusive line for Xiaoyu, and Xiaoyu has been running on that line all the time. And I want to ask, I mean, how does Xiaoyu recognize the line it is supposed to run?
It uses the mixed the positioning method.
Is that my enough point?
Technologies such as precise positioning and HD map and the visual slam. All this technology will be combined to guarantee the buses can identify his positioning and the lane.
Yeah,
The accuracy of the positioning can be reached centimeters accurate level.
you are.
Yes.
That's indeed very accurate. Yeah, and I could hear just now that Xiaoyu is reporting to me the remaining time of the traffic light ahead of us. How does it get the information?
We use the V2X technology. V2X means equal to everything. That's the X represents. As you can see on the traffic light, there's a red light. On the traffic light, there is a tin retina antenna. The white square box is our V2X instrument. It gathers the information from the traffic light, such as the traffic light status and the traffic signal type. The buses can understand how much seconds left for how many seconds to red light or the green light, and adjust the speed.
And we can see there's a bus stop ahead of us.
Yes, it's a Tongshili station.
Okay, so maybe we can stop.
Are you interested in it?
Yeah, sure. We can see there are already some citizens waiting to take a ride on Xiaoyu.
Okay.
Maybe we can interview them.
Yes.
Yeah. 您好，女士，请问您可以接受英文采访 ？Can speak English?
Yes, I can.
Okay, that's very lucky for us. So, are you here to take a ride on Xiaoyu, the bus behind us?
Yeah, sure. I'll take this bus.
Okay, sure. It seems like is this the first time you take a ride on Xiaoyu?
No, I have taken it before, twice.
Okay, so is the lady here your friend?
She's my friend. She's the first time to
Oh.
take the bus.
Yeah, that's great. So you are taking your friend to take a ride here. Yeah, that's very cool. So could you please tell us which part of Xiaoyu impresses you the most?
Firstly, the appearance. The appearance is very modern, I think.
Yes, indeed.
And then I go into the bus, I feel very comfortable.
Yes, indeed, true. And may I ask the last question? I mean, do you know how the citizens can take a ride on Xiaoyu? Do we need money or card, things like that?
No. It's very convenient. You see the QR code there, I just scan it and then I can take it.
Okay, indeed. So it requires no money. It's all free.
It's all free.
That's very cool. So thanks for accepting the interview. Would you like to take a ride with us? I mean, on this bus?
I see the seat is all taken. I will wait for next.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Have a nice day, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes. Please. Thank you.
The people on this living or working on this island began to love the Xiaoyu. Since we published it several years before, the citizens, they began to recognize it and they began to this will be very familiar to them. So they take their friends, they will to watch it and to experiment. And especially the kids, they love it. It's very fantastic for them.
Yeah, indeed. We can see Xiaoyu have gained some popularity among the citizens. And Mr. Li, may I ask how many bus stops do we have for now?
3 currently. 3. But we have a plan to expand this autonomous vehicles area to the whole island. So that means any citizens on this island can have their own have the buses.
Okay, I think we are enough for this particular video. We'll move on to the next one. So this is a driverless bus still being tested. But I think I downloaded this video, which is about 2 years old. so that will be 2 years ago. So you notice that people there isn't wearing any masks because it was before the pandemic. Okay, the next one. This one is the first driverless taxi in commercial service. So this is in an area very close to Hong Kong, is in Shenzhen.
of China. Today, I'm going to take a ride with a completely driverless robot taxi driving on regular public roads. Let's go. And here it comes. The fully driverless robot taxi is making a U-turn to come and pick me up. As we can see, the AutoX self-driving system is completely integrated within the vehicle platform. And this is why I can put my luggage here without any problems. This is a level 4 and level 5 fully driverless robotaxi from AutoX, the leading self-driving car company in China. This is a Chrysler Pacifica minivan equipped with high-resolution cameras, high-resolution lidars, and long-range radars. Because it is a fully driverless vehicle, the car also has a surrounding blind spot perception system on each side of the car, including both wide-angle lidars and cameras. Here is the button to open the door.
你好，欢迎使用 AutoX 无人车，请您系好安全带，关闭车门，通过触摸屏进行操作。
Now I'm inside the self-driving car. The driver's seat is empty. The passenger seat is empty. The second and third rows are all empty. I'm in the car all by myself. This is so nice. Okay, now I'm all buckled up, and I'm going to click the button to go.
请先关闭车门，再开始行程。
Okay, it's letting me close the door. I'm going to click this button, and the door will close.
车辆即将开始行驶，请坐好并系紧安全带。
Now we have switched the gear from P to D, and the handbrake is off. Now we're driving completely driverlessly. I feel like the car's driving really stably, and I have a good feeling about this. And through the screen, I can actually see that there are some 3D models of nearby surroundings that can show me what the road looks like without having to look at the front window. Ooh, now we saw some pedestrians biking across, and now we're avoiding them. Safety, hygiene, privacy, you have it all in this car. By the way, AutoX's robotaxi is also the first fully self-driving car in the world that preserves the moonroof. You can open the sliding panel to see the sky. It feels so nice during winter to enjoy the sunshine. And you could also adjust the temperature from the AC panel right here. Feel free to help yourself. Now we're trying to turn right, and as you can see, we can see a pedestrian trying to cross the road. And our robotaxi has determined that, so it's made a pause, and now it's kept going. Now we've entered the main road in Pingshan called Danzi Dadao. With a speed limit of 40 kilometers, we have now reached 40 kilometers per hour. Now we've bumped into a situation where there's a car stopping on the side of the road, which is really common in China. There we go. Bye-bye. Now our robotaxi is turning into a rather narrow road with a stop sign. Now we've bumped into a very common situation in one of these narrow roads in China. Now we have a big truck stopping right in front of us. And our robotaxi has carefully and smartly made a choice to go on the opposite lane to go around and bypass these cars. Now this is definitely a required skill to drive in China.
You might be interested in this. Driverless taxis, driverless cars.
Here we're entering another left turn situation where it's unprotected. Now we can see that we've got this car coming across, which is a delivery truck. We've got another home car, and also we've got a situation going across. So our car right now is trying to work out the best timing to perform the left turn. Now it's made the pause because we have a bike going in front of us. Now, immediately after the turn, our car makes a side pass to go around the blue truck parked in the lane. And then an orange delivery truck starts to pull over and occupy the portion of our lane. Our car wants to nudge, but has to yield to another white delivery van rushing by on our left. Now this is a very interesting situation, and the car drove just like a human driver. Because this is a fully driverless car, what happens if you have some questions? Well, here's the help button that you can press when you have any questions, and a remote customer service will get in touch with you. Let's try and see what happens.
正在为您服务远程客服。已连接远程客服。为了确保服务质量，您的本次通话可能会被录音。
It says that the system is connected to customer service.
您好，我是 AutoX 无人车人工客服，请问有什么问题可以帮您？
Now, a human support agent has picked up the call. Let me say hi to her. 你好，我是来深圳体验无人车的，也没什么问题，就是想跟你打个招呼。Hello， 能看到我吗？
可以的，很高兴看到你的笑脸，欢迎来到深圳特区，来了就是深圳人。
A very nice lady said welcome to me. I'm going to say thank you to her and let her go back to work.
A very nice lady, and I'm going
你
to
们这个无人车真的很酷哎。
lovely and polite.
客气了，
那就不打扰你了。
好的，祝您旅途愉快。有什么问题可以随时联系我们客服团队。拜拜。
Bye bye.
Whatever.
Here we're stopping at an intersection, and I can see some kids. Let me say hi to them.
Pardon?
They're glancing at our car because they're like, why is there no one driving? I'm really enjoying this full view of the sky right here because we have this beautiful window panel and it really sheds beautiful light, especially now that it's in the afternoon. We have really warm and beautiful sunlight.
Okay, I think it's enough for that. Okay, so we see that we have a driverless vehicle already in service.
Very click on that. Speaker.
The service, this one in Shenzhen only started about, I think, a few months ago. But obviously, the people in Shenzhen today doesn't wear any mask anymore. Okay, that in the videos they mentioned two terms. One is the V2X, V as in vehicle, to X is everything. So they are able to communicate with all the surrounding other driverless vehicles as well as the road signs and so forth. So in China, the red light stops will also show you how many seconds left for that particular color. So you're approaching a traffic lights, then it will show you how many seconds left for that particular color to remain on. For example, it's green, then it will be counting down. And if it's red, it will also be counting down to when the red will stop and then becomes green again. So this information is also being sent out through 5G to all the nearby vehicles. So if the vehicles has their V2X protocol, they will get the information and then they will be able to adjust their speed so that by the time they reach that point, then they can just pass right through because you have already calculated the time before. But that requirement, I would say, have a catch, is that the pedestrians has also been very obedient. Otherwise, they might be hit. So actually, for all traffic lights in China at the moment, they have all these countdown numbers, even for pedestrians. They will see the numbers there, how many seconds left. So if you think you can make it through, you better run through. Otherwise, you might not catch it. So that requires citizen cooperation as well. But this is information becoming more and more available at the moment. So I think we should also copy that. At least let us know when the lights will finish. So the signal is I think it's pretty simple. Just put a number somewhere there so that we can see the numbers counting down, and then
Ryan, Sue Maybaum.
hello. Okay, so that's the first technology I talk about. The second technology is called level 4. Actually, there are level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Level 4 and 5 means the car can be driven without drivers. So but I don't really know the difference between 4 and 5. But up to level 4, then the car can be driven without a driver. And there's another discussion about the social values of driverless car. So eventually, in China, they have the so-called shared bicycle. Shared bicycle means, I think Melbourne has some shared bicycle before, but the problem with Melbourne is we need to carry our helmet. But in China, helmet is recommended but not required. So if you walk up to any bicycle, you see any bicycle laying somewhere, okay, you can just pull out your smartphone, scan the code, and then the lock will open, and then you can ride on it. I think it's about 1 to 2 rand per hour. So 1 rand is about 20 Australian cents. So about 20 cents to 40 cents per hour. You can ride to anywhere. After you ride on it, then you just get off the bicycle and then scan the code. Then you will lock yourself and leave it there. You don't have to put the bicycle back to any place. So anybody walk by, find that useful, can just pick up the bicycle and then ride to another area. So they are all depending on the QR code. So this thing can be extended to becomes this driverless taxi. The driverless taxi can come to you, pick you up, and send you to somewhere. And then, so when the city becomes parking space becomes scarce, then driverless taxi will provide a solution because you don't need to find a parking spot. You just order a driverless taxi. The taxi come to you, pick you up, and send it to where you want to go, and then you leave the taxi, and then it will on its way to serve another customer. So if that becomes available, then the whole city structure may change because a lot of area which is now reserved for parking spot can be eliminated. And this is sharing of car instead of sharing a bicycle. And without a driver, that means the operation cost will be much lower. We don't need to pay salary. For a country like China, the population getting old, that's good. But for a young country, it's eliminating jobs. Yeah, somebody want to ask a question? Oh.
Who are you?
think the Indian government has banned them. Driverless cars.
But as I said, it will require
jobs.
quite a bit of cooperation from everybody. So if the population is not compliant, then it will be very difficult. For example, one of the advantages they said is in this environment, the sanitation is good. I think the car will sanitize itself every now and then. So
any accident?
The accident rate is actually better than human driven car.
Oh,
Because the problem with human is that we have a reaction time of about half a second. So you see something and then you react to it. It will take some time for our brain to process the information and then apply the action. So that's called a reaction time. So a typical reaction time of human being is about half to 1 second. And that's where error come from. But for automatic driving like that, the reaction time is in milliseconds. So it's at least 100 times better than human in terms of reaction to accident. So people expect driverless car will reduce traffic accidents. But at the moment, we don't have any concrete statistics. So we need to see. The introduction of driverless taxi is also interesting. They have tried this testing about 1 or 2 years ago. So during that period, the government released 100 new driverless taxi into the system every week. So they are not introducing a lot at the beginning. It's just 100 cars every week. And then during that test period, if you order a driverless taxi, travel within 300 kilometers, it is free. So people will try to order a driverless taxi if it is available. And that makes a taxi able to collect a lot of information by serving real customer, but the customer doesn't have to pay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you called me this morning.
No, I think must be accident.
Okay, I have mute.
What is the average cost to ride a driverless taxi cheaper than the one with the driver?
At the moment, we don't know. I think they are charging the same.
Oh, okay.
But eventually, I think that will control the cost, because after all, you don't need to pay the driver. But you look at the car. The car is actually very new. It's an electric car, made by the Chinese. So this is a Chinese model. I actually want to get this one. I like this one. But it's called Chuan. It's one of our dynasty, the first emperor's dynasty. And this car, the car we see is actually very powerful. It's very sporty. If you want to get it into high speed, it is a very sporty car.
Are they available in Australia?
No, not yet. I hope it will be available soon here. But actually, I'm looking for a much smaller car. It's a one-person tricycle.
Okay.
But is fully enclosed, so you drive it like a car, but it's a one-person car. If I can get it registered here as a car, then I probably want to get one, because the battery they use ordinary lead-acid battery, so common battery is not very expensive batteries, and because it is very light, so it has a range of about 40 kilometers for one charge. If you have one battery, but you can equip it with 2 batteries, then you will extend the range to about 80 kilometers. That will be more than enough for me to go to UVA and come back. So I don't need to drive my big car there. I just drive this small 1-person tricycle, fully enclosed, so protected from the environment. But I don't know whether I can get registered. And it's not very expensive. It's about 1,000 Australian dollars. But I don't know the shipping cost. So probably put $100 or $200 in the shipping.
So I suppose you don't need a license to drive that?
Because it's fully enclosed.
It's on the road, you have to.
I think you have to. So the problem is whether it will pass the safety requirements here. So I don't want to risk that $1,000 to just find that it doesn't meet the safety requirement, can't register. So if somebody can do it, for example, a business want to do it, then I'm happy to buy one from them. Not very beautiful at the moment, but it was, imagine the amount of money I can save in petrols.
Do you have a picture of that?
Sorry?
Do you have a picture of that?
I can find the picture of that. So you just hang on. I was looking at it just yesterday. Okay, just give me a sec. I need to go to my track, log in. Okay, I share screen for you guys to see. See that little black car here? This is a 4-wheel drive. Okay, so here are some of these. Dimension here. Okay, the width 108 centimeters, the length 230 centimeters, the height 156 centimeters. There are different colors. Okay, it's better than in the climate. So different colors. And you have a wiper, a foldable back wheel mirrors, front lights, turning lights, and then there's a opening here for cooling. And there's also a opening on the top for cooling as well. So here's the top where you can open it. This is the side mirror, the door, and they will also provide you with a water, what's that called, to stop the water from. And then it will have remote control, so that, and the window is manual, so you have to rotate the window here. And this one
is a motorbike.
A motorbike, but there is also a normal view. So this is a motorbike control version, and that is the display about the speed. This is the radio, and this is the amount of battery left. And when you put into the remote reverse, then that becomes the scene at the back. And then you have the lights highlight, and this is the turn left, turn right. This is the horn, and that's the reverse, and that's for the lock. and there's a little radio down there. So the radio is actually down here. And your driver's seat can move forward, backward, and lay into different angles to allow you access to the back seat. Laying down.
And sleep on it.
Okay, so there's another version. There's another version which is using wheels. And then using wheels, of course, you will have the switches there instead of in the that is where you turn the lights. Cigarette lighter. And this is the warm air outside, and then you have the
pedal,
gas and the stop, and then that is the brake, the foot brake. So the other thing is the same.
Does it have aircon or not?
No aircon.
Okay.
And it is the rear. It has a motor, and then this is where you put in the lubricant oil. This is where you let go of the lubricant oil, and this is a disc brake. Forward and backward disc brake. Okay, this thing. So I'm afraid it won't pass our Australian standard because it doesn't have airbags.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's a scooter.
As a scooter, it may be. It's safer than a scooter.
So you need a motorbike license, yeah? License. Motorbike license.
This one, you are using the one with wheels, it's drive like a car. I don't know whether we can register it as a motorbike. You can register a motorbike, then use that same thing to. There are different versions. There is a three-wheeler, and the one I'm showing you is the four-wheeler here. This is quite a large factory.
What's the maximum speed?
20.
I think it's 40 kilometers per hour.
Okay.
Okay, this is the range. With one lead-acid battery, it will cost about 12,000 rand. So that will be about 6,000 Australian. It has a 40 to 50 kilometers range. Hey, this one is more expensive than the one I look at. This one. Is from 2,000 Australian to 16,000.
You can't go on the road.
This one can, I think it's a scooter. Maybe we can, I don't know.
Yeah, you can't go on the road.
Yeah. But anyway, that is a dream only. I don't know whether it will pass the Australian vehicle standards. If we can't, then no point getting it.
Is that battery?
Yes, it's battery operated. So really, how big is your car? Your smart car?
I'd actually sold my smart car and got a hybrid Toyota now.
Oh.
But it's very small. It'd be wider than that one. But only had front seats.
Okay. So what is your car now?
I have a Toyota hybrid now, a hybrid Prius.
Hybrid Prius. Okay, it's a big one.
Yeah, it's big as the smallest hybrid I could get.
Is
but they don't sell the smart car in Australia anymore because they only make electric model. They won't bring them to Australia. Only make electric now.
I think Australia's small car has some electric models. I was looking at it.
No, my Prius C is the smallest hybrid.
Smallest electric.
So is that two-seater?
Mine has 4 seats. This
Oh, 4 seats. It's not bad.
the
Yeah.
smart car only had 2.
Okay. Nissan. The Nissan Leaf is the smallest.
Yes, the Nissan Leaf is much bigger than the Toyota Prius. It's 4.5 meters long.
Oh,
I investigated all of them because
okay.
they only have limited space in the garage. Yeah. No, it's Australia will fall behind because of this government being very negative. But soon in Europe, in Asia, they will not make cars that use petrol. Maybe in 5 years even.
Well, the
You
Chinese
won't be able to get them.
Yeah, China decided that it will only manufacture electric car by 2025.
In Europe, I think by 2025, they won't make any more. There'll be no one making any special cars for us in Australia, which is a smaller market.
And we also close our car manufacturing.
We don't make anything here, so it's got to come from Europe or Asia, and they won't be making them. So you'll all be driving electric cars before you go to the grave. Not just me. You will be.
Yeah,
A lot quicker than Scott Morrison lets on.
Okay. Not when I drive to Adelaide 3 times a year.
They will go perfectly that far. That's just Liberal Party propaganda. You will be able to drive as far as you can drive in a petrol car.
Not when I go to northwest Western Australia.
Yes, you will. Same as your petrol car.
They don't even have electricity.
Well, Jeff, you're going to have trouble. You're going to have to keep your petrol car for a long time because no one's going to be making them.
But there is something called regenerative braking. So when you stop your car, the energy is feed back to the battery.
Yeah. Now run it off the sun.
Yeah, and then a electric solar panel on the roof.
Of course.
And then
I mean, people who are saying these things now, they'll look back in 5 years and they'll think, how stupid were we? It will just be so obvious that these things were coming.
It's like mobile phones. How quick did that move?
Yeah, and cars will move quicker because we don't make any. So the rest of the world will decide for us.
Yeah.
It won't be us that decides.
For charging,
well, we'll have to
the
get
charging
ourselves
speed is getting faster and faster.
Yeah. We'll all change so quickly, you will feel embarrassed looking back to comments you made.
Yeah, in China, they are changing all buses to electric bus. So you imagine a electric bus with full air conditioning on, with all the passengers fully loaded. How they can run for the whole day?
Yeah, when I was in Europe last year, for a short time before I was dragged back to Australia by the pandemic, and the little cars like mine were everywhere. Every brand of little car was electric. You would search the street to find anything that was running on petrol. This was in Italy.
Especially in Norway.
Yeah, especially in Europe. You know, these are the people that are making the cars you'll be buying. You think they're going to have a special Australian model that runs on petrol? I don't think so. We will have to change to suit the car.
Yeah.
Even you, Jeff, will have to change to suit the car.
So thinking of safe bus.
You put 250 million people in Australia and I'll agree with you.
We won't have 250, but we will have the distances. Jeff, you're going to look back on what you're saying today and be blushing. You will be blushing. It will move so quickly.
The world has been moving much faster than ever before.
Australia's like a bloody little backwater now.
Yeah, remember when we humans get electrified, get electricity in the homes, it takes almost 30 years, right? But now, getting this driverless car ready, I think is a matter of maximum 5 years. Then all taxi will be driverless. Our taxi driver need to start thinking how they can compete. And then, of course, the other requirement is we got 5G. Without 5G, the connection time is much slower. So by banning Huawei to build our 5G network here, I think our government is pulling us back.
Of course it is. Become the little leftover backwater.
I don't know whether you know, Australia has been the so-called testing place. There are some, for example, in the when it was moving between CD to video DVD, there was a technology that only Australians has it because they tested in Australia and failed, and therefore it is not available to the rest of the world. We were guinea pigs. And now, because our small population and a small market, as we said, our future depends on the rest of the world. See what they make for us. We don't have the sufficient market to attract any special investment. Just for us, our market is too small.
And
So,
our petrol supplies are very insecure because we don't make petrol anymore. We're just closing our last refinery.
we should be looking forward to using our middle to produce solar power. We have lots of sunshine here, so we can make sure of it. That's okay. Next time we'll talk about solar power in China.
Sure.
Okay. No more question? Then.
Oh, Valerie.
Yeah.
Valerie, are you saying every country in East and Western Europe has got those electric cars, or not only Italy?
There's lots more places in Italy. I'm just saying, when you walk down a street, you could not find the non-electric car. It wasn't a question of finding the electric ones. All those other brands make heaps of electric cars. They just don't bring them here.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So see you next time then.
Thank you. Thank you.
By the way,
Thank you.
for the lunar weddings, if we can meet again, then we will meet. But I will also run the Zoom sections. So if you don't want to come to class, want to join us, then join us on Zoom. You're more than welcome.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
But will the Zoom be at the same time because your class is at a different time?
Yeah. For the face-to-face in Box Hill, I will come face-to-face, no Zoom, but the Zoom will be from 1 to 2.
Okay. Might have to abandon you out there. Just do the Zoom.
I think I enjoy more face-to-face. So.
Do you still want to be in the front room?
Yeah, I still want to be in the front room.
Well, it'd be good if we can get rid of a few people to do it by Zoom then. Because technically we've got too many. We got to make it into a corridor or a veranda. Okay.
But anyway, we'll see.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.